Welcome, Aquarius. This is Eleanor with Peaches by Starlight Tarot, here with your October 2022 tarot reading. Your overall energy for October, this is the past life energy, so it doesn't talk about things coming in, but it talks about past influences that could be affecting you this month. And then you have Pine. So together, these talk about you might be getting a broader and more expansive perspective on something that you've experienced in your childhood, because you're on the other side of it now, like seeing a childhood experience from the adult vantage point. And there's something healing and cathartic about it, about finding out that something wasn't your fault, that maybe something you took on as a kid and took responsibility for was never your responsibility. And you're learning a lot from someone else's mistakes and making different choices in your own life now. And you're able to see things from a longer term lens, encompassing a greater span of time to capture a cycle or a pattern that it overturns a sense of powerlessness that you may have been carrying, like being able to see back from that bird's eye view and seeing the overall pattern. So there's a deep influx of meaning being gifted to you on that high road. And it's on one hand humbling, but on the other hand, very absolving and cathartic. So for the good stuff coming in, you have the King of Poles, the King of Wands, the Eight of Cups, and the Magician. So you do appear as though something is inspiring you to move on from a dead-end situation. And right off the bat, I'm not seeing it as a relationship. All of this feels very much more like life direction or career, possibly. It's just something else. It's not relationship. It's more like moving jurisdictions. Instead of playing by someone else's rules, you'll be able to do things your way. And instead of putting all of your energy and effort into someone else's passion project, you look like you're striking out on your own to create your own thing, and maybe a business. Or actually, I'm more like just seeing free agent, not even a business, but just like a one-person show where you're creating something out of yourself. You are the brand, you are the content, you are the product even. And if that's taking it too far, I can see it being more something simpler, like you're just leaving a family business to try your hand at something that's all your own. But whatever it is, it's super exciting, it's super freeing, and it holds so much more promise than whatever you were doing before. I feel like it's going to be easier to concentrate. Like most people only have so much energy when they're working for someone else. And then what you really want to do is you want to go home. You want to do your thing. You'd prefer to, we strive for that separation and that balance when you have a job that you go work for someone else. But when your job is your thing, when you're kind of just like, when your passion is your job, suddenly people are willing to work day and night 24/7 to make it thrive and to take off. And it almost, instead of draining you, it actually fuels you and fires you up. So that's for the tough stuff. We have the Dancers. This is like the Lovers, the Five of Cups, Queen of Poles. That's the Queen of Wands. So this Five of Cups it's actually pots in this Labyrinth deck. But anyway, the Five of Cups is highlighting whatever you had to walk away from to achieve this. And so I don't think you'll be without a small twinge of loss, or maybe feelings of regretting having to let someone down. And there might actually be someone that tries to guilt you, but at the end of the day, it's your life, yours and yours alone, and you have to pursue what matters to you. And no one ever does that really without some cost, even if it's a small one. So this is oddly specific, but there's a question of who's your customer or who's your target audience, because just doing what you're passionate about and projecting yourself out there in an authentic way is amazing, and it's actually advised here, but it only goes so far without having some idea of who you're serving or what your market is. And I say that having no idea what mine is, seriously, but there's a little bit of an odd duck feeling, which makes this a challenge. Maybe a lack of existing niche or an existing audience. Like you might have to build it from the ground up. Like there's no precedent. It's so new that no one's really searching for it, which makes SEO research difficult or something like that. There's a little bit of a crossroads energy, that you might not be moving on from something, like not just simply moving on from something, but have more than one choice as to what to move on to. And that decision could pose a little bit of a challenge. For your advice, you have the Page of Poles / Wands, Strength, and the Ace of Poles, Ace of Wands. This feels like a lightning rod, like a circuit or a channel for an influx of energy. You will have to get serious at some point for sure, but right now they're saying to have fun with it, and that play is a totally underestimated tool for learning and development. It feels kind of imprecise, like spitballing, or just, what do they say, throwing everything at the wall to see what sticks. So when thinking about your customers or clients or audience, they're saying if it's not fun for you to do it, it's going to show. So the joy is going to translate, and that the lack of joy will translate into your final product. So you're advised to trust yourself and to have grace for yourself, to make plenty of mistakes, because you'll be learning so much from them right now, more so than anything else. And there's no need to force anything. They're saying that desperation and fear are going to show too. So it's something that you're not going to be able to hide. So staying in that playful energy, being willing to metaphorically burn a few batches without beating yourself up, it'll keep you out of that energy altogether. So you won't really have to worry about it. Nothing to hide. I feel like this is a sort of a recapturing of a childhood in some way, like getting to play around with ideas or concepts that you didn't feel that you had the freedom to when you were under your parents' roof. So that's what I have for you right now, Aquarius. And if it helped in any way, let me know by hitting that like button, and I will talk to you in November. Thank you.